A brief summary of some of the interesting comments by Ermes Gasparini and Monster Michael Todd in their respective recent interviews. These two topics were left from the last video because it was getting too long, so we'll discuss them here. And after that, my response to RVJ. Initially, I was thinking about not responding to it, but this time I have a much more respectful response than some of the previous times, so I think it's worth making a video. So Ermes Gasparini said in the Voice of Armwrestling interview that against Devon Larratt, Denis Cyplenkov wasn't 100% of his peak shape, which is an obvious statement. Everyone is going to agree with that. But there's a strange point to be mentioned here. If Ermes believes that Denis is going to be 100% of his peak shape, which we are assuming was somewhere around 2011 to 2018, anywhere between that, then I think that is going to be some overestimation of Denis Cyplenkov's abilities to prepare for his upcoming King of the Table super match. He's still probably going to be maybe 10% away from his peak shape, in my opinion. So Ermes believes that there are a couple of things that he should be slightly worried about when facing Cyplenkov. First of all, his hand size, the thickness, which is unheard of. Levan's hand is also massive, but Ermes said it's kind of not that difficult to grip up with. It after some time it feels kind of comfortable, but that's not the case with Denis Cyplenkov's hand. And then his endurance. If the match gets stuck somewhere where he couldn't finish it, then he may be in trouble because Cyplenkov's endurance is literally amazing. But Ermes is positive that he's going to win this match because he has never lost when he has hand control. That's a really cool thing to say. You don't lose when you have this, you don't lose when you have this. That's a really strong and confident arm wrestler, at least in that position. Not so much like this against Devon, even though even in this position Ermes showed us something which we never saw before in the Levan Saginashvili match. So Ermes said that I've said it many times, if Devon had my back pressure with his own hand, he will be unbeatable. Now we talk about some of the hybrid arm wrestlers who will be the strongest one. Cyplenkov plus Brzezinski or Devon plus Levan. Questions like that. A hybrid arm wrestler. That's a cool thing to discuss as well. Ermes plus Devon. The back pressure of Gasparini and the hand of Devon Larratt. So Ermes will try left-handed practice pulls with Alex Kurdecha next month. So he'll see where he is at next week, actually. This week when I'm recording this. Then he'll see where he's at, if he's ready to face Alijan Muratov or not. Even if he isn't, the match is already confirmed. So Monster Michael Todd did a podcast with Havoc Boats. So RVJ, I'm still quite sure you have watched it till now. There is an option to just skip to the forward part by clicking on the, what are they called, timestamps of the video. So with Havoc Boats, first part is on MMT's channel and second part is on Havoc Boats. In the first part, Michael talked about his journey, how he began arm wrestling, everything about his competitive nature. Why doesn't he play video games? What's the reason behind that? So everything related to his personal and professional life in the progression from the earlier years towards the later part of his life. Second part was about the future of arm wrestling and stuff. So I encourage you to watch both of those podcasts. Really amazing. The good audio quality. I was thinking, Engin was asking, what should I do for the fans if they pay me money to become a member? Maybe he should get a podcast room like that, fly in some of the arm wrestlers who live nearby like Georgia or Kazakhstan, stuff like that. That will be cool to see. Arm wrestling does not have a podcast like this yet with professional equipments where they are doing in-person podcast. I would love to see somebody do that. So I would love to do that in the future, but right now it's impossible to do that. So in the second part, Michael mentioned something about the arm wrestling not being the mainstream sport yet. He gave a couple of reasons. Number one, there is no product to endorse. There is no product to sell. In baseball, they can sell a bat, a baseball, but arm wrestling doesn't have anything like that. Yes, we have a table, but any redneck, I don't know what a redneck means, but any redneck can build a table. So that's what Michael was saying. I'll add to that. I'll say the reason why arm wrestling is not mainstream and it probably will never be mainstream sport is that it is not a game which you can play for fun. Until the whole country is playing that game just for fun. I'm sure many of us, almost all of us, played cricket just for fun on Sundays without having any intention to kind of grow in that sport and start competing at some level. If you have an arm wrestling table with you, if you go to arm wrestling practices, you can say that you're doing that just for fun, but somewhere in your mind, you have that thing in your mind that you will compete one day and you will be probably a state champion, district champion, national champion, whatever your goals are according to your current level of strength on the arm wrestling table. But arm wrestling is something that hurts the elbows in the beginning. I'm not sure if there are more than a couple of percentage of people who are doing it just for fun, who have no intention of getting big in that sport. And there are other sports like that. People playing football, they just play for fun. And that's the aspect that is missing. The team aspect, the whole nation behind one team. Arm wrestling is not a team sport yet. For sports to get big, yes, there are some exceptions like UFC, boxing, combat sports are generally exceptions, but well, we are talking about combat sports to be honest. So giving examples of football, American football, cricket is not the right thing here to do. But still, I hope my point is clear here. Arm wrestling is not something that can be viewed with in a stadium of 50,000 people. Like two guys are just standing there. There is literally not that much action going on which can gather such audience in a stadium. So these are my reasons for that. So response to RVJ, he literally called me out for a super match. He would let me use a couple of hands and then I'm not sure. If it is like this, he's going to beat me for sure. If it is like this, if I can get strong, yes, it will still be extremely difficult for me to beat him. That is out of question. He knows I won't accept a match with him. Or even if I will, I don't see myself having much chances of winning. So where is the confusion? I said that RVJ has talked so much shit about Arsen Liliev, there should be a match. So Rob kind of misunderstood what I was trying to say. Maybe the wording was not right. I'm always confused between these words. Trash talk, shit talk, crap talk. To me, it's about the same. I didn't say it in a disrespectful way because I wanted to say that the match has already been hyped up and the promoters should be capitalizing on that. That's why I was saying. Rob said that I didn't talk shit about him. Yeah, maybe you didn't. But you were talking shit about him way ago, maybe a couple of years ago as well. So I had nothing to say about the Arsen Liliev video that RVJ made. In fact, I agreed with it wholeheartedly. I was like, yes, somebody has the guts to call these things out. I was on the same page. I don't know where the confusion started because I just made that video to hype it up. And yes, the wording was incorrect when I said that it will, for a brief transient moment, it will kind of take away my faith from arm wrestling. Yeah, that was a little bit cringy, but I was thinking about using the correct words here and I was confused. I've never used this excuse of the communication gap, but this time I'm using it. I did not mean it to say that Rob has disrespected him, now he needs to back his words up on the table. I wanted to say that there is already some trash talk, now we need to capitalize on it. I didn't say that he needs to prove himself by beating Arsen on the table. That was not my intention. So I'm on the same page with RVJ, in fact, on this one, and I want to see that match. That's why I was saying, as a die-hard fan of arm wrestling, I want to see that match. I think we were on the same page, but there was some confusion. I was talking about Cobra Roars. I read it many times and I also believe it that there are literally almost no videos of Cobra winning on the internet. And that's what rubbed Rob the wrong way. And he started literally like abusing in the comment section, the thing that he always does. So maybe he doesn't know about that. I've discussed that with Cobra, that yes, bro, you have won everything, but there are no videos. That must be sad. And he was like, yes, Pradeep, they don't want to see me winning. That's why there are no videos. But Rob got pissed off because I said something and he was saying, I found some videos of Cobra winning, so you're lying. That middle-aged idiot should know that exceptions are not examples. Well, they can be examples, but they shouldn't be used as examples. And he was using exceptions as examples. Rob has said that if you watch arm wrestling news, you cannot look me in the eyes like a man, and yet he watches all of my videos. So he was mentioning something about hypocrisy. That's hypocrisy right there. A couple of times he has literally begged people to stop watching my arm wrestling news channel, and yet he keeps on watching it every single day. He just couldn't live without it. So nobody sent him this video according to his own words. He saw that in his feed and he watched it till the end. Why? You kept on saying that it's boring and nobody should watch my channel. In some of the other videos you said that, and yet you keep on watching it. And people criticize me for getting some views on others' names, which literally every news channel does, even on the television. watch Rob's last 20 videos. The video about me has the third highest views out of last 20 videos. So I'm also giving him some views. Thanks for watching. Like the video and subscribe.